Hello and welcome back to the channel and what's caught my eye in the classifieds today. Well, I'd like to start by saying thank you to Doug at Leavenhalls Classics and Prestige for allowing me to bring this to you. Now, as you know, I like to bring you things which are rather rare, unusual or special in some way. And personally, I think this one meets each of these criteria. So what is it? It's a Panther Solo or a Solo 2 as some people refer to them. Panther West Winds, commonly known as Panther Cars, was founded in 1972 by fashion designer Robert Jankel, and the factory was at Byfleet in Surrey, near to Brooklands motor racing circuit. They produced hand-built quality cars for the rich and famous. In 1979, Panther went into administration, and they were acquired in 1980 by Jindo Industries, and leading the company was Young Chul Kim. And it then became the Panther Car Company. Now, in 1982, they started to produce the Callista, but they wanted a replacement for the Callista. And it was in 1983 that the idea of the Panther Solo was conceived. Its original intention was that it was going to be a cheaper vehicle, aimed at around about £10,000. It was going to be mid-engined, and it was going to have a 1.6 CVH Ford engine. Unfortunately, the introduction of the Toyota MR2 put paid to that, because the realization came by 1985 that there was no way that they were going to be able to compete on price. So that was the end of Solo 1. And so the decision was taken to revise the design, to build it in smaller numbers, to make it more special and cater for a more luxury market. And the restyled car became known as the Solo 2. Right, let's go and have a look at the car anyway. I think that looks rather nice, and it's certainly different. Its design was by Ken Greenley, who was one of the tutors at the Royal College of Art in London for the automotive studios. Very individual styling. I quite like it. It's different. And you'll see it's got the lights which are enclosed in the body there. And these were hailed as being a little bit different because I think they don't pop up like most of them do. I think they actually swivel round. So it was thought to be a bit of a novel idea. The restyled car featured a slightly larger 2+2 layout, a composite upper body, permanent four-wheel drive, and a mid-mounted engine from a Ford Sierra Cosworth, a 2-litre turbo producing 204 brake horsepower. Looking at it from that angle, it reminds me a little bit of a TVR Cerberus. And from the back, it's a bit like possibly an Esprit, or you could say with that big air dam, a Lamborghini Countach. And of course, the grille there, um, you could say even is a bit like a Ferrari Testarossa. Lovely seats. Now, we said it was a 2+2, but there aren't the +2 seats in this one. And that's because the owner decided they wanted more luggage space. So they opted not to have the +2 seats, and that's why it's only a two-seater. 5,680 miles. Marvellous. That's lovely, is that? So you'll see the number plate there says the Panther Car Company, Harlow. And it was in 1987 that Jindo sold the company to SsangYong. And in 1988, the company moved to a new site at Harlow and continued making the Callista until it gave way for the production of the Solo. Now, this is interesting, I think. I mentioned about it looking a bit like a TVR Cerberus from the front ways on. But to me there, when you see the headlights set back like they are, and you see the rounded shape of the wing, it reminds me a little bit of the Ferrari Dino of the early 70s. In spring of 1990, Panther stopped production of the Callista to concentrate on the Solo. And it was in autumn of 1990 it was announced that the production of the Solo would stop. The exact number of Solos built is unclear, but it's believed that there's between 12 and 13 in private hands. They're very rare cars. I've only ever seen one in the flesh. And, chances of seeing one are very slim. Right, what's the advert say? We know it says 5,680 miles. It's a one owner from new car. Wow. So it says it had a theoretical top speed of 170 miles an hour, with the accepted figure being 142. ABS accompanied the four-wheel drive system. Now, you've got to remember, back in 1990, this was all pretty much advanced stuff. Anti-lock brakes hadn't been around for very long in your average cars. So it was really up there with all the top technology. The dashboard was carbon fibre. The steel chassis features a well-designed horseshoe crash structure at the front, akin to that of a period F1 cars, clothed in a composite body. Aluminium honeycomb sandwiched between layers of impregnated fiberglass bonded by epoxy. Yep, well, that's very nice. I like that. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to say once again, thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. And until next time, take care and thanks for watching.